You know what it takes. You're ready to
Oh,
dance.
yeah.
Sweet. Take them all on. We don't have the music, but I'll edit that in later. Everyone ready? You ready, Dre? Give it to them. Yeah, give them a taste.
Be a long one.
Well, too long. I got work tomorrow. 3, 2, 1. All right, no my hook and my. Welcome back to another episode of the Kiwi NRL podcast. We're all split up. We're on 3 different locations. So it's me in the studio. We've got Andre in the paradise that is Papamoa. How are you, bro?
Bloody good break. Good to do it from home, actually. Beats that trip over the Kaimais.
Hey.
Getting stuck in traffic on the way back.
It's all part of the gig, I thought. And also, through the magic of the interweb, just like Andre, we've got Andrew Auimatagi from Christchurch. How are you, brother? You good?
Yeah, kia ora, bro. Good, thanks.
That's the one. All right. Before we get too far into it, we better thank the sponsors, Andre? They're pretty good.
Yes.
Do you want to, well, Tummy Hunter Consulting, that's you. Let us know, bro. What's the deal?
What are we working on? We're working on a few, we're working on a few visas at the moment. So Tummy Hunter Consulting, tummyhunter.co.nz or Andre at tummyhunter.co.nz. Basically, all of your immigration matters. Mainly work with sort of in the construction industry, and a little bit in the seafood and meat processing industries at the moment as well, actually. So, yeah, need any immigration advice, get in touch.
There you go.
Tummy Hunter Consulting.
There you go. Hey, shout out to Tummy Hunter Consulting for supporting the potty. Shout out to FitZone, based in Matamata, Te Aroha, Pairo, and Waihi. Right now, we've got a mad deal on. Join in December, pay nothing till January, so you don't have to do the old, I'm not going to sign up because I'll start in the new year. Don't worry about the new year. You start now, start today. FitZoneNZ.com to get amongst that. Shout out to them as well for keeping the lights on and the beers cold. All right, so talking of plugs, geez, we've got a few sponsors on board now, don't we? Tonight I'm sampling the Good George, one of my faves, Deck Chair Hazy Pale Ale, Hazy Tropical, and oh so sessionable. This ale is handcrafted for any occasion. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the view. I'll enjoy it. Oh, and that's good. Don't forget, Kiwi NRL 10 online. You can grab your Chrissy beers off the Good George site. So if you just Google Good George Brewing, get to their website, use Kiwi NRL 10, you get 10% of the best off your beers, gins, what else they do, martinis, all sorts. All right, and what are you sampling tonight, Dre?
I've got a few of these limited edition Good George bandwagon lagers to finish off.
Up the wires. You still got it.
Just in case the bandwagon doesn't go as far next year, really finish them off this year. So just the up the wires, a few of those in the fridge. Bloody good drop. Well, I think it's just the memories. The memories live on from the season.
It tastes like
that's what I'm tasting.
Tastes like third place. You ask me. And I don't know if did we get you a beer down there, Andrew, or not? Did Dre send you one?
No, he didn't, unfortunately. But yeah, I've managed to grab a refreshment to the side here.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. All right. Be with me 2 ticks. That'll lead us into we'll just get a bit of your background, Andrew. Like, obviously you coach the St. Thomas of Canterbury first 13 team. Is that their first one of the secondary school championship? Is it the first time they ever won that?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's our first win. First win from a South Island team in 23 years as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow. And all those other years, is that predominantly Auckland teams, right? St. Paul's, obviously being the...
St. Paul's. I think Southern Cross have been in the mix. De La Salle last year as well.
Yes, true. Sweet. So let us know about you, bro. Whereabouts were you born, grew up, and all that sort of jazz?
I'm born and raised Christchurch, so proud East Side man. Grew up in Wolston, um, and yeah, kind of spent all my childhood years over there. Played rugby league at the Linwood Keas. I've been there for about 30 years.
Oh,
Yeah, got 3 kids. Yeah, living out in North Canterbury now, which is a bit different from my time in Wolston there.
okay. I don't know the area, so is it?
Are you
Are you saying
Yeah,
it's
yeah
a?
out in Bulldogs territory or over in Rangiora?
yeah, I'm just round the road from Murphy Park, so yeah, Bulldogs territory, Dre.
Ooh, better keep
Yeah.
the kids away from Murphy Park.
um, Sweet, bro. So did you play? So you, like you said, growing up, is league all you played? Obviously, being in New Zealand and especially down in Christchurch, rugby union is a pretty big game in our country. So did you dabble in the dark art of union as well, or was it just mainly rugby league?
I started in football way, which was pretty out of it.
Oh,
So a
okay.
couple of
Yeah.
years there, and then mainly league, and then into a bit of union at high school. I guess most boys dabble in union when they get to high school. So um, yeah, that's pretty much me. Played out in Canterbury country rugby as well for Prebleton. So yeah, enjoyed playing both coming through.
And you coach the first? Do you help coach the first 15 as well as the league boys? Do you? I seen on your.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, jumped on board last year with the first 15. So just assistant coach role. So really enjoying my time working with some awesome coaches for rugby as well.
How common is that? Like, I know when we've tried to put a league team in the little town of Matamata in the Waikato here, it's usually faced with a bit of uh, fight back. They're not really that keen. Good to see though that the two codes kind of like sharing resources and things. Is that common there, or is that like kind of a new thing?
I think it's probably fairly new. Quite lucky to work with Mark Hammett,
Oh,
ex All
true.
Black and
Yep.
Crusaders. Yeah, so he's one of the head coaches down here with another good mate, Kieran Cole. So Kieran's like an aspiring coach in the Crusaders kind of setup as well. So
Oh well.
both those guys are pretty open to new thinking and new ideas. So I guess that's how I kind of landed in the coaching setup.
Oh yeah, me. How many of those boys
Does
play both? Most of the team, or?
Uh, yeah, I'd say about at least 80% of the boys play league. I guess that's kind of one of the reasons that I'm in there supporting is just helping bridge the gap for some of those guys that are mainly league based. So yeah, I think it's worked out pretty well so far, which is really enjoyed it.
what what's the day split for obviously trainings and games? Because I remember back in the old before the Crusaders claimed my stadium down there, the rugby league park on a Monday night was a bit of a popular affair at high school during our years.
Yeah, that was pretty mean, back in the day. Like some of the best memories, I guess. Like similar to you, Dre, playing down there. Now the boys play at Napunawai on a Monday for league.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, a lot of our boys play rugby on a Saturday, and then league on the Monday night, and then there's more league on a Wednesday for under 14s as well. So yeah, just kind of allowing boys to play both codes if they love their league.
yeah, nice. And 2 days of recovery, I suppose, as well, just to make sure the body's semi right. I don't know how right it is in 48 hours, but
Yeah, no, the Monday night's pretty out of it because some of our boys play each other as well. So just they get to represent their clubs on a Monday and kind of bash each other up, then go to school the next day.
perfect.
Sweet. So
With
oh, you go, Dre.
oh, have you got some Q&A?
Not yet. You keep going. You keep going.
I'll keep going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's Andrew's a bit modest about his league credentials, I think. So I just wanted to ask. I don't know the exact details, but obviously you had you went over to Sydney for a trial, didn't you, when you were younger, Andrew? And I guess I wanted to know in comparison to today how effective those
Oh, sorry.
pathways are to be able to do that. Because did you trial at Parramatta? Is that? at one
Yeah,
point?
bro. Yeah, yeah, and I was kind of lined up to have a trial in 2002. So
Yeah.
played junior Kiwis 2002, and then unfortunately the next day after playing Aussie, flew down to Christchurch, played Parramatta on the Sunday, and yeah, basically ruptured my ACL in that game. So that kind of
Sure.
set me back that year, and then got the opportunity in 2004 to go over for that kind of trial with Paris. So I think I was 20 years of age, heading over there for about
Yeah.
a month, just over a month for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's still some strong pathways at the moment, for our boys. So we've got quite a few plugged into some systems as well.
Yeah, maybe we had a bit of a chat before about that, but maybe yeah, a few of those up and coming names. Who are some names to watch out for that could later down the track, I guess, represent the Kiwis or the Warriors of the Kiwis?
Yeah, I think yeah, I always kind of struggle naming boys too early just because you don't want to put too much
Pressure.
pressure on them.
Yeah,
But yeah, but yeah, we've had a couple of young ones. They catch some attention. I think probably Bishop Neal's the one at the moment. Yeah, big boy with a lot of skill. Still a long way to go, but yeah, he's definitely showing some good stuff at the moment at the Warriors as part of their Harold Matthews squad. And then probably in the SG Ball, really stoked for our captain at school, Jason Salalilo, his name is. So he played at prop at Nationals, kind of first time playing prop, and yeah, really dominated in the middle and earned himself an SG Ball contract for next year. So
Oh,
yeah,
yo.
he's probably been a really awesome story out of this year.
awesome.
Where are most of them going, bro? Is it mainly the Warriors, or I see is it Southern Zone Rugby League put up there a couple of posts with the boys that are playing Howie Matson, SG Ball and that. So is it mainly the Warriors that are picking them up?
Uh, like yeah, there's quite a few from Christchurch up at the Warriors training at the
Yeah.
moment. But then you've got two boys that are in Christchurch linked with the Bulldogs, and then a couple of Cantabrians over at the Bulldogs already. I don't know if you remember Kyle Rubin, Dre, but his son's over there,
Yeah.
Bronson. And Kyle's going to do a bit of coaching over there in the Harold Mats, which is pretty cool. See some Cantabrians over there doing well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I'd say mainly the Warriors, bit of the Bulldogs, boy at the Titans. Takayo that's gone over to Newcastle, he's got a lot of promise as well.
Nice, man. I was what do you think about having like a South Island NRL team? What's your thoughts on that?
I think like Dre would definitely love it. Even though he's Warriors hard, I guess he'd support a team from Canterbury, hoping. Um, but yeah, there's some rugby league mad people down here, and got no doubt if there was a team here that it'd be packed out every week. So yeah, I think the region's definitely hoping that something like that will pop up soon,
Yeah, I reckon
and hopefully,
it'd be the one of the best places to have it would be down there. You could have that whole North Island, South Island kind of battle vibe. And I think it also will help with the Kiwis because at the moment it's New Zealand Warriors, which is a bit. I think people are confused. Like, but everyone's like, you had everyone jumping on the Warriors this year, and then the Kiwis were playing, and like some people like don't even know who they are because I was like, oh, I thought the Warriors was like our
yeah,
team. You know what I mean? And I reckon that could help
Yeah.
go a ways towards that if you had like North Island Warriors, South Island, whatever you want to call them, Kias or whatever.
Fine.
yeah,
Yeah, and then you could have the like probably well aspirations to get to the level of state of origin in Aussie like that'd be how good would that be? So
That'd
you
be
go back and represent who you played for when you're 13
yeah.
or what have
yeah,
you.
Even the local
That'd be
derby would be sick, eh? Like if it was just two NRL teams, you could have that kind of real Dolphins versus Broncos kind of
mm.
feel.
yeah.
Well,
No,
there's the
hundred
talent
percent.
there,
I
eh?
think yeah.
What about
But,
what about like yeah? Would you put would you be in the mix to coach that team, Andrew? You've done a bit of coaching with
Straight in there.
who's driving it down there at the moment. Like who do they actually talk to about the possibility of that happening?
I'm not sure, bro. To be honest, like I think, oh yeah, if there was a team down here, like yeah, there'd be a few of us putting our hands up to want to be involved. But like probably my thinking's more around trying to keep some talent in Christchurch. I think that's probably a big one. Just seeing
Yeah,
probably our club game maybe suffering a little bit, in terms of a lot of young
Yeah.
talent heading offshore. So if we had a team in Canterbury, definitely it'd strengthen the region, and we'd have less boys heading over to Oz, hopefully,
yeah,
and more opportunities in New Zealand.
Mm, yeah. I guess, yeah, like they'd have to look at an established club, and how it's all about money at the end of the day, isn't it? Like Redcliffe was already
true.
a pretty
Yeah,
predominantly, like already making a lot of
Oh, Rich, yeah.
revenue and a lot of, yeah, basically. Well, they got
Yeah.
about fucking
How many
400
pokies?
poker machines in the back of the club room, so that's
How
a
many
start,
pokies?
isn't it?
Yeah,
But yeah, like, yeah, in all seriousness, it's got to be a business case as well. So it's
yeah,
sort of hard to see it, but at the same time, you never know. One of these mining magnates or someone might see some potential and invest in Canterbury. The Crusaders are already big enough to attract international attention, so don't
what
see why
yeah.
not.
what a Crusaders kind of partnership of some kind work? It'll probably be the first of it in the world, you think, with the two codes, but there could be a possibility, that you could use the structure of like the Crusaders and their resources to have, a league team as well. Play both. No.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, funny you say that. My my boss at work, he floated that idea a few years ago about the Crusaders and the Warriors working together. When they were battling as well. But I think some kind of partnership would be awesome.
Yeah.
Um, shared resources and IQ would definitely help.
But hey, it's all pipe dreams. But I, I
Yeah.
think we need another. Well, like we just humped the Aussies by 30 points, and we only had one
Mm.
Warrior player in the team. So that itself is telling you that there's probably enough talent there to warrant a second team. So come on, give it to us.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
what's your next? Are you still? You've obviously coached a bit for New Zealand Rugby League, and what's your next aspirations in terms of coaching, if you do have any, or are you sort of going down a bit of a different path now, or
No.
what are your goals at the moment, Andrew?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, love my coaching still. Like, yeah, if opportunities popped up, I think you're pretty limited, like in Canterbury, to be honest. In terms of um, trying to step up into the NRL
Yeah,
type system. Yeah, I guess I'd have to move if I kind of want to have a crack in that
yeah.
regard. But
That's
yeah,
what I sort
it's
of.
New Zealand League, like they're definitely supporting me, in terms of growing as a coach, and plugged into a few programs just to support me. And if an opportunity comes up, I'm ready to have a crack. So yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Well, the Kiwis job's up, bro. Put your hand up for that.
uh, bit far off that at the moment, but yeah.
Some nobodies
Yeah.
said he's keen. I think his name was Wayne Bennett. I think he said he was keen during the week. Never heard of him, never heard of him. But
who would who would you
Yeah.
like to see in that who would you like to see in that Kiwis role? And or if it was Bennett, who have
Yeah.
a young sort of coach?
Um, might be a bit controversial saying this, but I think
Me.
definitely. I think we've definitely got to look at appointing a Kiwi. I think like
Yeah,
Madge, like spend a bit of time with him, just coming through with my professional development and that, and I know he was trying to put things in place to grow more Kiwi coaches. So
oh, cool.
you've got guys like Nathan Kalis in the background. I'm not too sure if Stace is keen to step into head coaching, but I think Nathan Kalis is definitely binging problems and start really looking within and just growing our own people. But that's just me.
yeah, yeah. No, I think there's a point there because that you seem to hear that sort of a similar line of thinking from like we spoke about Alex before, who was he's a he's coached over in Aussie at Kirwan College and in the Cowboys recruitment system and that sort of thing. And he just moved back to Tauranga and doesn't really have, there's no real
Yeah, there wouldn't be.
anything for him to do. So he's actually he's a scout now for the Broncos. So
Yeah,
like, there's just no pathway from the region or visible pathway for coaches to get to that next level, like you said before.
yeah. Like they have the junior, like residence teams and stuff like that, and I think they're trying to bring more people into the Kiwi Fern setup, and the Kiwi A team was a pretty cool initiative.
Yeah, love
So I
that.
think I think they are trying to move more towards New Zealanders coaching our teams, which is pretty cool. Um, and you look at the success of the Pacific teams as well. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
opportunities for our people to grow in those roles, which is pretty cool.
No, ideally we would have a Kiwi coaching the Kiwis. But yeah, like you said, there's probably Kalis would be a good shout though, from what little I do know about coaching, but from what I heard about him, there's been a lot of good things said about him, and just even the way he went about himself when he played. So it could be a good
Yeah,
shout. We've got a few years to the next World Cup too, so but shit, we've
yeah.
got a good
No,
team
it's
at
going
the
to be
moment.
interesting to see who they appoint. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great team at the moment, so shit, even I could have a go probably, but still go all right. No, sweet. I will just grab some of those questions that people sent through. Hopefully, it doesn't kill everything. Of
Kane Bristow's got a question.
course, he does. Yep.
Can't wait for this one.
No, I'll save the Kane Bristow question.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. You want to save it? Okay. It sounds dodgy. All right. This is from it's an Instagram handle, but from King Capisi's response. Who was the top three players in his St. Thomas National Schools team? Might be a bit hard to say because
Ooh, it's a tough one, but
Get political,
yeah, we
get him
kind of had our
political.
we had our awards ceremony, so I might just go off who got our awards, eh?
yeah.
Oh, diplomatic.
Um,
Okay, diplomatic.
yeah. Nah, so yeah, probably our most valuable player was Jason Salalilo, our captain in the middle. Um, I'd say Maratino Kalodo, our winger, who's he's kind of rugby based, but he was pretty special. And actually, yeah, one of our young bucks, Lennox Tuiloma, he was pretty exceptional at loose forward. Only 16 years of age, and he made the New Zealand secondary schools team. So
Holy shit.
that's pretty unheard of. So yeah, he's pretty special kid.
There you go. Two stars of the future. This is from Rory 4209. Yes. How much have the pathways for young talent changed today compared to 20 years ago? Oh, it's a while ago.
There you go.
I think the easy one is there's more exposure through technology. So you got more agents, I guess, and clubs, accessing the footage
Yeah.
more easily. You probably hear about it more now just because it's so frequent. I think definitely more opportunities in terms of more teams the boys can play.
Yeah.
Um, I think that answers the question.
Yeah, bro. Did you have a question there, Dre?
No, yeah, I do, yeah.
No,
You
you're
you
right. No, I
mentioned
do.
you mentioned Griffin Neem before when we were having
Oh, yeah.
a yarn. What was his pathway to from juniors to the point where he was able to put a Benji Marshall sidestep on Nico Hines against Aussie, a 30-0 drubbing?
It's
How
been
did he get picked up from the West Coast to? I think we were Cowboys first, huh? Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's still
yeah
Cowboys, yeah.
yeah. No, it's pretty cool to see Griff as a young kid. I remember him coming over to play for I think it was Grey High in a nine-a-side tournament, and mate, yeah, stood out like, head and shoulders above, and then it was pretty honoured to coach him New Zealand 16s, and could just see his growth coming through, and played a bit of footy at Horsell and Canterbury as well, so I think that potentially helped him. But pretty awesome in terms of playing for the Scorpions. exposure at the Southern Zone or the zonal tournaments, and then rest is history. I think he was picked up by the Cowboys around about that 15, 16 years of age, so they definitely supported him well all the way through.
Yeah, he's one of my favourite players. He's the way he
Yeah,
plays
no,
is awesome.
top man. Like he's when you think of West Coast rugby league players, like he's that prototype.
Yeah,
Just hard as nails. Real good bugger.
I still remember
It's,
there was a game against Penrith, and I used it for my moment of the week on the potty. And Taruva had made a break down into the corner, and Griff from the middle had chased all the way over, like didn't give up, and then right as Taruva went to put the ball down, he just smacked his hand and he like Taruva knocked it on. I'm just like shit. How did because for a big fella and like
Yeah,
to make that effort, like most everyone else had kind of given up because it was Taruva who made the break, but for Griff to get back there and whack the ball out of his hand, I thought, well, that's it was Simon Mannering-esque. That's
yeah.
who it
No,
reminded
that
me of.
sums him up. Yeah, I think he was getting compared a lot to Simon coming through as well.
Yeah, naturally, like obviously, fairer complexion. So that's probably the first. That's probably why he stands out a bit. It's a pretty brown game in New Zealand, so
Yeah,
no, he's definitely a talented guy, and I just love the way he does his mahi. He's and he's a huge man, eh? When
yeah.
we went to
Big
training
unit, mate. Yeah.
and seen him, it's like holy shit, he's huge.
Hmm.
yeah, I guess the question there then is like, and this is probably a broader type question, but obviously when the Warriors lose and everyone starts getting online and keyboard warring it up hard, like the question always is like, how do the Warriors miss out on say a Griffin Neem or a whoever it is, one of the Britain Newcoulter or someone that gets missed through the
True.
Warrior system. So I guess, do you know what might be some of the or our reason? Obviously, you wouldn't know exactly for every player, but a reason why that happens, like from an actual knowledgeable standpoint, rather than a
Yeah.
online.
No, I've got a bit of a hunch. So I guess being around Jordan Ricky and Griff in those early days, like Brisbane and the Cowboys were pretty quick, to those lads.
Yeah,
And I think, in Auckland, like they do have a massive catchment area. So,
Yeah,
you know, I think sometimes it's the case, hey, it needs to be a really exceptional kid
yeah,
to catch their eye and pick that boy over someone else that's just down the road. So, yeah, I think a bit of that, but also some of those, especially the Broncos, like they've been coming to Christchurch for a few years, like even when, the Aranui Academy days of the past, like
yeah,
Broncos and
yeah.
Storm
That's
were
right.
quite heavily involved there. So, um, I just think, it's a bit of Auckland. I'm just happy with their safety net up there a bit as well.
yeah. And like
And
you,
potentially, I guess
oh, you
the
go.
cost of getting like a signed player from Christchurch to Auckland all the time to attend
Yeah,
trainings and camps and all of that, like who funds that, I suppose, is the other question as well.
yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a financial one.
Yeah, much easier getting someone down the road. And there's a lot of to be fair, there's a lot of boys in Auckland, obviously that are of a pretty high standard. Um, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
just interesting with the Kiwis, eh? Like how many just to have one Warriors player. We remember the years where it'll be 80% Warriors players in the Kiwis team. So there's a lot of Kiwi
mm.
boys and other teams doing well. I think sometimes that's a good thing too, though. Having them spread out a bit.
It
Yeah. No, I
allows you
think
to
it's
carry your
good.
season into finals more often
Yeah,
to support the final series.
yeah. Nah, sweet. I'll just double check. I think that's all the questions we had. But oh, actually, Dre, you had another question. Is there a connection between Saint Thomas and any NRL club at the moment? Do you have a bit of a partnership going on, or is it just trying to get the boys on that
So,
pathway?
yeah, nothing official at the moment. Like I've got a pretty good relationship with Tony Iro at the Warriors, and obviously we've got quite a few boys up at the Warriors at the moment. Boys at the Bulldogs, boy at the Titans, boys that have been trialing with the Broncos. So I guess if we were to, kind of align with one club, potentially that could,
Yeah,
I don't know, could limit opportunities. So
yeah.
yeah, nothing at the moment, but just keeping options open for all our boys.
Nice, bro. I had a question. Are you a Warriors supporter or do you support a different NRL team?
Um, yeah, I support Para, but then kind of like most people, the Warriors would be a second team.
Oh, yeah. What do you reckon about Para's year last year? Oh, this year, sorry. And how do you think they're going to line up next year?
Yeah, pretty disappointing. They've definitely got enough talent there. I think it's just a matter of I don't know. It was quite puzzling to be honest to see how far they
Slipped.
fell away
Yeah,
from the year before. But yeah, you really really like Brad Arthur, and they got some key guys in Moses and Dylan Brown there. So hopefully a kick up the backside and back in that top four next year.
yeah. They're one of those teams that when they're on shit, they're on a different level, eh? Like especially with their attack. But really seen them. Well, even in that when the Warriors played them, um, yeah, like you said, it's quite weird to see where they went from last year to where
Yeah.
they kind of went. Oh, sorry, yeah, last year to where they ended up this year. Um, with Para, do you know any other? Have you had many South Island boys got over there with them at all that you know of, or not really?
There's a boy from Linwood, Dakota Karkoi, that's signed with Para. He'll go over into the SG Ball setup. So he's kind of been with Para for a few years, I think, kind of trialing and stuff. And
Cool.
yeah, he's locked in for next year.
Is
A
that
few boys at the
Sam's?
Sharks. Sorry,
Whose boy is that? Is that
uh,
Alangi's?
Tikuri.
Oh,
Nah,
okay. Right.
Tikuri's son, but Alangi's nephew. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah. Cool.
yeah. So he's pretty
Okay, well,
talented centre. Yeah,
sweet. Oh, we'll go a local question for down there, eh? You've got a bit of a few medals, mate. What would be the how I don't know how many premierships I've lost count of how many premierships you've won. So, what's your highlight of local footy down there? Either as a coach or a player, or you've captain coached before as well, I think. So, over the years, what would be your highlight of either club or playing for the Bulls?
um,
If you had to name one,
name one. That's a tough one. Um,
go a club one and a Bulls one then.
Sweet. Um, okay, so the club one would be probably last year. So we had all our teams, I think from the 18s, the women, the reserves, and the premiers all win the grand final.
Holy shit!
Um,
Nice.
so I guess that was that was pretty huge for our club in the history book. So I guess that one there's a highlight. Like I was actually playing for the Bees, the reserves. So it's quite different not being a coach that day, but yeah, that's definitely a highlight just to see the success right across the club. Um, and then the Bulls, actually, Dre was part of that one. So that was 2009. We beat we beat a pretty stacked Auckland team with a try at the death to Johnny Ardanga to win the national championship. So that's probably the highlight that one.
Nice.
It was a good day. It was a good day.
Yeah, it was a
So
good
it's
day
funny
and
though,
night.
eh? Like you win a game like that. I think I was like 21. You know, oh, there'd be heaps more of those to come. Never again.
Yeah, yeah, we went pretty close in 2019, but
Yeah.
Auckland's pretty hard to beat, as you know. Yeah,
Like I think from that game, eh? Because so Lenny, Brett Stewart was the coach,
Oh,
and
was
I
he?
think the last team to beat Auckland and in Christchurch in Christchurch in a final was his team when he played
yeah,
Oh, when he played.
like 20 20 years before or something.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
yeah. 93, I think. Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's big. We were paying. You're a betting man, Lenny. We were paying about 350 at the tab, I think.
Oh, well, yeah. 350. That's pretty short. How short were Auckland?
Well, we were unbeaten in the round
Oh,
robin, and
okay, yeah, okay.
we were massive outsiders.
Shit.
Yeah.
It must be. Yeah, Auckland are very hard to beat in that comp, eh? So is that so? How many times have
It's
Canterbury
fun.
beaten them?
Far out.
Would have been a few times now. I'm pretty.
Well, because back in the Bartercard days, Auckland was all split up, so I
That's
guess there was a bit
Yeah,
different.
true. Yeah, I didn't think of
So,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So it was a full provincial comp, yeah, that we won. But the Bulls won the Barter card a few times, yeah.
Um, it'd be great to see the kind of. I mean, it was a bit of a glory day, the Bartercard Cup, um, of a national competition. But do you think we could get to that sort of status again, or do you think it's a bit hard to kind of?
Uh, yeah, like I'd love to see it like head that way. I think down here in Christchurch, like yeah, we're just going back to 7 teams, I think, next year.
Oh
So
yeah,
you've got to make sure you've got enough depth in the club comp to to
mm,
support that Bulls team.
yeah,
Yes, probably that'd be my only concern, but you never know if a Bartercard Cup popped up, it might bring more players to the game. You don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, pretty special times those back in the day.
yeah. True. That could open up more guys playing. I know back up here in the Waikato, obviously Hamilton, Nguruahi, and Huntly are very strong, but in the Hauraki and like Piako areas, which is like Matamata, Morrinsville, and up the Coromandel, they've started doing at the end of the rugby season. They've got a 7 week league season, and
Oh man,
the
yeah,
rugby clubs are putting in teams into that league, into that comp, and so that's
yeah,
been really cool because a lot of the time in the smaller areas, guys want to have a crack at league, but it's just there's no one to play for. So
yeah,
as Dre would know, like we
mm,
had a carload of us going from Matamata over to Utamotai when
yeah,
we
yeah,
started playing. So I think I love that. I think that could really work elsewhere because I think in the regions when you try and fight rugby, yeah, it's just too hard. There's not enough players. So
yeah,
I would love to see like more smaller, like not known league areas try that out because it's working really good. A lot of the rugby clubs in the area are chucking league teams in, and it's great for the players too. Getting
yeah.
skills from both.
I think there's a bit of that happening down south. Pretty sure Otago might run a similar comp,
yeah.
even Invercargill, Southland. So yeah, I like that motorway. I think that's a good way to just give some rugby boys a taste because we do kind of have a few that stick with the game
Yeah,
after they taste it. So yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember South Island comp, my age group, and yeah, a few of those boys ended up getting released to play one year, and it was the best age group comp we played in. I think it was like under 13s. Nasi Manu, Tim Bateman, I think Colin Slade might have even had like a bit of a run,
oh,
and it was
true.
just
far
epic.
out.
Like you could tell they were just having fun, like and
Yeah,
enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely a goal, I guess, to get it back on track.
100%. All right. Another thing we usually ask our guest Andrew that I did not brief you on, but if do you have like a Kiwis moment over the years that kind of sticks out to you, like a game? It doesn't have to be a game. Could be a moment in a game. Could be a player. Like a game that sticks out to you. If you're going to say your top Kiwis rugby league kind of moment for you.
No,
yeah. I think it was 2014 at the Cape Tin. Um, was there for the what was it called?
Oh,
The final between
Four Nations was it then?
Aussie and New Zealand. Yeah, yeah, it was something like Four
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nations or yeah. So I was there yeah to watch that game and see the Kiwis get the win, and it's a pretty big night, kind of hanging out with some of the Kiwis in down Courtney Place. So it was yeah, that was probably a highlight as seeing the win and then catching up with Canterbury and Louis Brown for a couple of beers was pretty cool.
Louis,
Lee.
underrated player, man. Louis Brown.
Yeah,
That was a good. So that was
top player.
that's when Jason Tomalolo was playing for the Kiwis, from memory.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
Martin
yeah,
Tapau. Manu was on the wing still, I think. And Jason Nightingale on the other side, the Gypsy.
Yeah, it had a pretty good team. Yeah.
And I think, is that when they had that, they almost scored at the end, but it was rolled back on a forward pass? Oh, I think that might,
The
yeah.
Aussies,
I think it was a real flat pass.
like a big long ball, I
Yeah,
think.
it was right at the end.
Yeah.
We just hung on there, so.
Yeah. No, it was pretty awesome atmosphere, that game.
Yeah, I still remember that game because I met my father-in-law for like, I might have been the second time, and he's a big union guy. And that test was that night, so we went out fishing on Lake Tarawera and said, "Oh, we'll go camping ground. We'll go to the shared kitchen and watch the game with everyone." But the whole time he was just going, "Oh, you won't beat Australia. We never beat Australia. They never win. We never win." And it was just so great, that they. So we were on the boat the whole day, like having a chip at each other. And then the Kiwis got the dub. It was stoked, but we beat them in that first game we played them too in that 28, didn't we?
Pretty
Yeah, we
sure.
did.
Yeah, it was. It was that period under Stephen Kearney where they're doing pretty well. Yeah.
Great game, and no one had said that yet. So there you go. Can't wait to clip that up. Who wins the NRL next year, bro?
Ooh.
And you can't say Penrith.
Can't say the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
I actually think, the Broncos. I think, I think they're going to have a pretty solid team for a few years, and losing that final
Yeah.
will just motivate them even more. They've got talent to burn. So I think those guys will be pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, they'll be hurting from last year because shit, they looked a done deal. That period there with Ezra Mam just carving it up. It's just like, holy shit, Penrith are going to lose, and then nope.
I was at the stadium, and the Penrith fans are basically like quite a few of them left. They were gone. Like, they were like, that game's over.
Game's done.
It was a
Crazy
pretty
game.
funny.
Yeah.
Just like how quickly it twisted, because at halftime all the Penrith guys were arrogant as, and then 10 minutes into the second half or 15 minutes in, they just gave up.
Yeah, that was
Is that
crazy.
Yeah. Is that the best ever grand final you feel, or what would you guys rank as the best final?
Oh, I would rank, only because I was actually at it too, that probably helps. It was the Cowboys Broncos one with the Thurston missed conversion attempt to extra time. And then
You would have.
And then Ben Hunt done the old basketball hoop catch.
Yeah.
But it was up there.
Yeah.
It would have been up there with that. I reckon they're on par, those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Trey?
Yeah. I was at this one, so I guess you have to kind of go with the atmosphere as well as the. I haven't actually watched the game back on TV, because I don't want to ruin.
Oh, your experience. It was crazy watching it on TV.
So I reckon it was good enough to not have to watch. You know how you normally have to watch the game back and see what parts it is?
Yeah.
That was going to get enough game for me not to have to watch it. So that's
fair cool.
Yeah.
The only thing was we ended up going to watch the All Blacks versus Ireland, which probably topped that in the same, like a month later. So
that was an intense game too.
There you go. That was like, and that because you're supporting a team in that game.
Yes. Yeah, I get you.
It's a bit more. I was like
a bit more invested.
Dripping. Yes, just basically sweating in my seat the whole time, just tense as. So yeah, best
two
league
massive
game,
games.
definitely. Best league game, definitely. That grand final.
It's good too, because I think there's nothing worse when you get a bit of a hiding in the final too. So it's good to see like a real cracker of a game. But yeah, Fish and Leota in that game, man, those two are they're just on something else at the moment, eh?
Yeah. No, possessed, eh?
Oh, Payne Haas mustn't like them very much. You just can't seem to get because when they beat us in their first game of the Pacific Championships, like Haas was rested. And they brought him back to like the Hamilton game, and then he got pumped by them. So it's like he must just not want to play them again. I also see just on the news week, NRL were having have got big meetings I think it's this week around Origin eligibility for Tier 1 nations, so for us in England. What do you boys think about that? Are you a fan of it? I think it would still be, they'd have to be there by the age of 14, but it means they could play New South Wales, Queensland, and pay for the Kiwis they wanted to.
Plead the fifth. I don't know the answer to
Yeah.
that. It's a hard one. I think Aussies would have more of an issue with it
Yeah,
anyway. So I think there'd be a lot of backlash on that side. So like, yeah. You're still feeding the Aussie game more. Like Andrew's been, I think the common theme is like we need to invest more in the local game.
yeah,
If we're letting players go play Origin, you're kind of enticing them to get to Aussie by the time they're 14 to be able to qualify for Origin in a way, I guess.
true.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I think the one bit where it's a bit of a pro is like, I'd say if that rule was in when because Kalen Ponga done a bit of time in like Kiwis camp, but not selected as a player, I dare say that he probably would have selected to play for New Zealand, but if he could still play Origin. So probably in that instance, I'd probably be. That's probably the one bit where I feel like the New Zealand team it's a bit harder because, let's say you're born in Auckland, you got Samoan parents, you get over to Aussie by the time you're 14, the likelihood of you playing for the Kiwis is, well, not likelihood, but if you're in that position, like the bag you get for Origin and for Origin as the game it is, they're more likely to probably swing that way, and that way again, Aussie gets another go at them because even though they play for Samoa or Tonga, they can still play for Australia, but they can't play for New Zealand. So
yeah, that's the show on the other foot. Yeah, do you remember the year the Kiwis were in the Origin?
Yeah, that was like a Super League year, wasn't it? Was it? I remember. Yeah, we were in the.
It's
late 90s.
Yeah, late 90s.
Yeah.
Reggie with Matthew Ridges playing.
98, 97, somewhere around there. That could be another option. Yeah, I'm not sure.
What do you reckon, Andrew? Are you a fan of it, or would you say leave it as is?
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I see both sides, but yeah, I'm probably a bit old school, and you know who you want to play with or play for.
Yep.
Yeah, it was always the black jersey. It was kind of, you loved watching Origin, but you'd still, you'd love to rip into the Kangaroos one day. Like, yeah, that was always me. So, I'd love to build towards, what you were saying around a North v South or Auckland versus the rest type kind of setup. I think, we can let the Aussies do their thing and just focus on ourselves. I think there's some momentum, for the game here in New Zealand, so we've got to keep building on it, capitalise on it.
100%.
Yeah, that's probably where I sit. Yeah.
The other thing too, it's just a real shame that the NRL stopped or blocked us playing the Pacific teams during that Origin period, because it was a real way to kind of build something else. And also, keeps the Kiwis relevant through the year, so you're not waiting to the end of the year, and then you've all of a sudden got a team. We're starting to get a real good kind of back and forward battle with Tonga as well, and that was often in that period. So I know when we sat down with New Zealand Rugby League earlier in the year, well, from the marketing side, they were really disappointed, obviously, because it meant for them trying to keep the Kiwis relevant in front of people's mind just got a lot harder because you didn't have that game in the middle of the year. I'd love to see that come back.
Or even a Pacific Cup, eh?
Yeah.
Pacific Cup, and maybe the Kiwi A team, they've established that now, whether the Kiwi A team plays in the Pacific Cup, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Could be the start of something.
Yep. And hey, I think also they invest. I know Origin's a big thing, but things grow if you water it. And I say they're putting just as much money back into Origin as they are making, and you can see that with tickets on sale already for the next Origin game and all the rest. So it'd be good to have a locked-in schedule for the international game. I think it was September. I think they actually finally got the tick from the NRL for the last games we've seen, which obviously has seen them not being able to secure Mount Smart for that final game, which they were trying to, but obviously the Black Ferns had already booked it before them. So yeah, just a bit more planning and foresight for the international game will be sweet, but unfortunately the NRL have a bit too much to say about how that's run. But yeah, but anyway, any other questions there, Andre?
Nah.
All right,
I'm good.
you're good. Well, thanks Andrew for jumping on, bro. It's been a pleasure, and we might sign you up as our South Island liaison. Look, and Dre's playing with all the buttons here. What did you find there? You got the bloody fireworks button. Jesus. But yeah, we'll definitely get you back on, bro, throughout the season, and all the best. Are you coaching the school team again next year?
Yeah, that's the plan. Back into first 15 and then head up to league nets with the boys again, which should be good fun. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Where's the league nets?
So it'll be in Auckland again, I'm guessing. So winter tournament week usually sits around start of September, end of what is it? End of August, yeah.
Sweet. So you'll be trying to go back to back.
Yeah, hopefully. Pretty good crew coming back, so you'll see what we do. Yeah.
All right, nice, bro. Well, thanks for jumping on, and like I said, we'll try and get you back in throughout the season and have a yarn to you, especially when the season's back on, because there's obviously a bit more to talk about. But congrats on the win during the year, and we'll get you back on.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Yep.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, good luck for the season.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro.
You know what it takes, and you're ready to dance, to take them all on. You got the measure of your man, and you know that you can go all the way. Give it to him. Yeah, give him a taste. Give it.